In the heart of the misty hills stood the Willowbrook Sanatorium, a place shrouded in mystery and surrounded by an aura of foreboding. The once grand building had been abandoned for decades, its faded walls and cracked windows revealing a history of pain and suffering. Locals whispered tales of the tormented souls that still lingered within its halls, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. The town's young and curious often dared one another to enter Willowbrook, despite the warnings from the elderly residents. But only the bravest souls ever crossed the threshold, their footsteps echoing eerily as they ventured deeper into the decaying corridors. One evening, a group of friends gathered at the edge of the sanatorium's grounds. Among them was Amelia, a steadfast and inquisitive young woman. With her were Daniel, the thrill-seeker, Emily, the skeptic, and Liam, the artist with an affinity for the supernatural. Armed with flashlights, they approached the looming building, their hearts pounding in unison. The air inside was frigid, sending shivers down their spines as they explored room after room. Amelia's flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced across the peeling wallpaper. Whispers seemed to ride on the wind, as if the very walls of Willowbrook were trying to speak. Liam's curiosity led him to an old library, where dusty books lined the shelves. He pulled out a tattered journal and began to read aloud from its pages. The words recounted stories of patients who had suffered unspeakable horrors within these walls, their anguished cries forever etched into the fabric of the building. As Liam read, the room grew colder still, and Amelia's skepticism wavered. A soft, distant cry echoed through the corridors, and the group's anxiety heightened. They exchanged nervous glances, contemplating whether to continue or flee. Determined to uncover the truth, Amelia led them to the abandoned operating theater. Broken glass covered the floor, and an old operating table stood as a haunting reminder of the suffering that had occurred here. Suddenly, a chilling breeze swept through the room, and a shadowy figure materialized before them. It was the apparition of a woman, her eyes filled with sorrow and her form emitting a faint, ethereal glow. Amelia stepped forward, her heart pounding as she addressed the spirit. "Who are you? What happened here?" The ghostly figure's voice was a mere whisper, but its words resonated deeply within the group. She told of a time when Willowbrook was a place of healing, but its true purpose had been twisted. Patients had been subjected to cruel experiments, their pain and anguish becoming a permanent stain on the building's soul. Tears welled in Amelia's eyes as she listened, her heart aching for the tormented souls that still lingered. She vowed to bring their stories to light to ensure that the world would never forget the horrors that had occurred within Willowbrook's walls. As the first light of dawn began to break, the spirit slowly faded away, her whispers growing faint. The group left the sanatorium, forever changed by their encounter. They would keep their promise, sharing the ghostly whispers of Willowbrook with the world, ensuring that the truth would never be buried in darkness again. And so, the tales of Willowbrook Sanatorium were finally told, a reminder that the past should never be ignored or forgotten, no matter how haunting it may be.